I need to get back to Chris Bowen, the Energy Minister. This is a man, I've said it before, who cannot hear the truth, even when it's told to him by the man he invited. The truth that might contradict his big green dream. You listen to this.
Can the Minister confirm that even after the Prime Minister's personal intervention to fix the mess of Labor's new family car and ute tax, families buying one of Australia's most popular vehicles, the Toyota Land Cruiser, will still be facing a tax, making it more than $10,000 more expensive than it is today?
The Chief Executive of Toyota just was at a press conference with me and the Minister for Transport, explicitly disagreeing with the premise just put by the Honourable Member for New England.
Well, actually, the Toyota boss did not disagree, really. He actually said, standing right next to Bowen, that it would be difficult under Bowen's plans to have cars as cheap and useful as the petrol ones he sells today. Just hear it again.
That does leave a challenge, a significant challenge. Will be difficult. The technology is yet to actually be at an affordable price, also providing fit for purpose at this very second.
Joining me is Nationals Senator Matt Canavan, the former Resources Minister and our Tuesday regular. Matt, what's happened to your head? The question time must have been a bit unruly today.
It's a blood sport down here. Touch footy this morning, had a bit of a run-of-the-mill head clash, and well, we haven't seen this much blood in the party room since Malcolm Turnbull left this building, but I'm still fighting fit and ready to go, ready to get stuck in.
Who's the villain?
I'll out him, Graham Perrott from the Labor Party, mate. He plays it pretty hard on the touch field.
Graham Perrott.
Anyway, wasn't really a headbutt. It was just a clash of heads, and these things happen. We'll get back on the footy field next time. I'll get him back next time.
No, well, the answer there is you should see the other guy. But Matt, the plan that Chris Bowen unveiled today, four-wheel drives reclassified as light commercial vehicles so they aren't hit as hard by the vehicle emission standards this government's going to impose from next year. What does that actually mean for car buyers?
Well, let's go through the numbers. Let's go through the actual numbers here. A Land Cruiser Prado at the moment emits 208 grams of carbon dioxide, that evil thing, carbon dioxide a kilometre. Under the government's previous plans that they announced a few months ago, that car was classified as a passenger vehicle. It would have to reduce its emissions per kilometre to 76, so by 132 grams per kilometre would have to be reduced. If it didn't do that, if it couldn't do that, it has to pay $100 a gram. And so if it stayed at 208, that's a potentially extra $13,200 on the cost of your Land Cruiser. So that's where those numbers come from that Barnaby was quoting. Now, today, the Energy Minister and the government has backflipped. They've backed down. The Prime Minister has had to intervene, embarrassingly, for Chris Bowen. And they're saying we're going to reclassify the Land Cruiser Prado as instead a light commercial vehicle. Well, if they do that, guess what? The emissions have to go down to, well, 82 grams per kilometre. So a 6 gram difference. And at $100 a gram, that's a saving of $600 for you and your family. Won't you be so thankful to Chris? Now, it is true, Chris also announced today a number of other very detailed changes, that he's going to change something technical called the breakpoint in the formula. He's possibly going to make it a bit slower at the start, but a bit more steeper at the end, still potentially getting those reductions I went through. But he hasn't released any of the detail. So once again, this government, they've done everything in secret. They haven't taken you, the taxpayer, into their confidence. They've tried to negotiate these backroom deals here with the motoring companies. They've obviously been forced out like hostages to the press today to try and announce this deal. But we still don't have all the details on this. And it's completely, the government is treating the people with contempt. And we deserve to know what is in this deal, what are the details, release them ASAP.
Isn't it strange that the Toyota boss was saying right next to Chris Bowen, listen, we haven't got the technology at the moment. It's going to be very, very difficult to actually provide vehicles that'll be this cheap and work this well, that meet these emission standards. And Chris Bowen goes into Parliament House and says, oh, no, not a problem with prices rising. That's a con. I mean, what does it take to tell this guy, hey, your plans aren't working?
Well, what it takes, what Chris Bowen wants it to take, is for you to buy and change your buying practices and buy a EV. That's his solution to all this, because when he constantly tells you that actually this is going to save you money, the fine print there is it will only save you money if you buy the car that Chris Bowen prefers. And I don't think our government, your government, any minister, whether it's Chris Bowen or anyone else, should be telling Australian people what car you should buy. It should be a free choice for all Australians. If you want to buy an electric car, good luck to you. They have high depreciation costs that the government doesn't factor in their calculations. But if you want to bear those costs, good luck to you. Go for it. It's your money. But if you want to buy, and you sometimes, in fact, need to buy a petrol car, a diesel car, to do your job, to go about your livelihood, to take around a big family, you should not face punishing taxes from the government that seek to force you, to punish you for exercising your free will and your free decision in what was previously a free country. And that's why people are arcing up about this.
Let alone drive on that wild...
intervened